what's up guys? Matt here. Welcome to my Dr. Sleep book review. Paging Dr. Sleep. That's just something my son Everett and I did. This is Dr. Sleep by Stephen King, the sequel to The Shining. I've got my notes here. I'm excited about this review. I will be spoiling a little bit about this story. So if you've not read this story that came out in 2013, I highly recommend you read it and or watch the movie. I think I watched some of the movie on the Kill Count by Dead Meat. Long story short, it's a great book. It's a great movie. All right, here we go. This is my review for Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. I'm currently on a Stephen King high right now. If you can see behind me, I have It and The Shining behind me. I first read The Shining, then I read It, then I read Dr. Sleep, and wow, that is quite the trilogy there. It is amazing. This book is amazing. Stephen King is amazing, but I've only read 4, if you count Carrie. I did Carrie audiobook. Only 4 Stephen King books, and I'm excited to do more. Stephen King has an incredible backlog, or an incredible bookography, novelography, I don't know what it's called, 65 published books. So yeah, I've got a lot to get through because I'm a Stephen King fan now, and I'm excited to read more. Dr. Sleep was incredible for me, absolutely incredible. A blast from start to finish. I love this book as a Shining sequel, but it's also a bit of its own story. It takes a spin on a lot of different things. The magic system is matured. Stephen King has matured. I mean, The Shining came out in what? 1977, I think is when that came out. I might be wrong on that date. Dr. Sleep, 2013. So quite a bit different. But this story is something special. I love how King ties in the magic system and the story really, really nicely. Really nice. This isn't your full fantasy story with creatures and impossibilities, but the supernatural. This story took The Shining, that famous book, that famous movie, to a whole new level. These characters were impressive and multi-layered and emotionally invested. I was fascinated by these characters. The plot was also exciting. I had no idea where it was going next, so that was something I really like in a story. The magic system, as I mentioned, is awesome in this book. I love how King writes his magic systems. The way the world and the extra-worldly interact is superb. I can't get enough of this story. And I will certainly be reading more of Stephen King's work. I look forward to reading things like The Stand, Salem's Lot, the Dark Tower series, Insomnia, and so much more. You can kind of see I've got a new bookshelf, so I've got room for more Stephen King. Okay, now we're moving to the review scores portion. I'd like to do a bit of a breakdown. Emotional impact, characters, plot, prose, and world building, and then I give a total score. So, this is not a spoiler part here, the review scores, but here we go. Emotional impact, 5. A banger of a sequel, all over the place, just amazing.
Banger.
Loved this story. Characters, 5 out of 5. These characters are deep. Even with The Shining starting the story, wow. Dan is amazing. Abra is amazing. Rose is amazing. Plot, 5 out of 5. Amazing. This is absolutely awesome. Prose, 5. Wow. Coming into reading Stephen King, I had no idea the incredible, intricately woven prose that he had for storytelling, for world building, for everything. It's just incredible. I like how he writes action. I like how he writes dialogue. It's amazing. World building, 5. Again, amazing magic system, amazing world, and the sequel to The Shining. What more could you ask for? Total score, that brings it to a 5 out of 5. Dr. Sleep, a 5 out of 5 for me. One of my favorites for the year. I'm excited to do at the end of the year a favorite book of the year. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay, now we get into full spoilers for Doctor Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. So again, if you've not read it, please shy away. If you'd rather be spoiled, that's fine. I truly loved this book. As a sequel to The Shining, it was amazing. I was happy to be back in this world. As I said, this is an extremely matured story as well. I think Stephen King coming back into this world with the magic is just awesome. We get to dive into so much more in this story. Speaking of the story, they call it Steam. It is The Shine, but it is more. It is Steam. I think that was okay. I wasn't completely taken out of the story when they called it Steam, but it is good. Dan, which is little Danny Torrance. Dan is grown up now, and he is an excellent example of character growth and character exploration. Abra, an awesome new pupil who is more powerful. I think that's a trope, but I loved the addition of Abra. Rose, an amazing antagonist. Super smart, super quick, super strong. The True Knot. I loved the history and all the great aspects and all the talents of each character. Great. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Dan's half-sister, which was Abra's mom. I don't know how vitally important it was to the story, but that's about it. I don't think it really had much to add to the story or detract from the story. But yeah, that is Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. 5 out of 5. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in another video. Peace! This, I don't believe... This is not a...